Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Facilitate the Culture, where we talk about all things basketball related. Today, we are here to talk about, not so surprising, Milaysia Fulwiley entering the transfer portal. Right? I don't know if y'all seen that coming, but I seen that coming weeks ago. Right? The transfer portal right now is crazy. As you know, I have some pros and cons with the transfer portal, right? I love that the kids is being able to move how they want to move freely. I love the fact that the kids is making money. Do I think that there needs to be some regulations on it? Absolutely. Do I think that, players are abusing it, right? And thinking that the grass is greener on the other side when the grass is greener where you water it. That's what they say. But yeah, we're here to talk about none other than Milaysia Fulwiley. Big name coming out of high school, top 25 player in the nation, All-American. I've been following her since high school, so I've been able to see her game. Obviously, you see your game in highlights is a lot different than seeing your game, right? So one thing I will say about her game, what I see in her game, is that, like Don was trying to do, was trying to turn her into a basketball player. You can tell she comes from a system where she could do whatever she wanted to do, right? A system without real structure. I always tell parents and players, there's a difference between being a top kid in middle school. Then you go have to play high school. If you play high school at the top division and your state open division, Division I, whatever that is, it's different from going from middle school top player to open division, playing against kids who arguably, most of the kids are already college ready, right? Then going to college, and now you have to play against girls like Paige Beckers, who's already a pro. Juju Watkins, already a pro. And you have to see that night in and night out. Girls who don't care what your name is, right? We seen that in the championship game. Nobody cared who Milaysia Fulwiley is, and I say that respectfully, right? AZ Fudd actually seen her on multiple occasions and said, "Oh, barbecue chicken, I'm picking your pockets." And that's what players have to understand at that level, right? I think that Milaysia is a very skilled player. But I will say she plays like a street baller to me. And anybody who's privy to just understanding basketball, right? There's a difference between a player who is a great street baller, right? Venice Beach, Rutgers Park, and One Mixtape, Harlem Globetrotter, than a player who is a professional basketball player. And Don was trying to turn her and mold her into a professional basketball player. And as a player who's been able to play freely, it's hard to then turn and play into real structure, right? The expectations at South Carolina is high, right? Your expectations is to win a championship. You're at a top 15, top 10 school, multiple championships in the last few years, and the expectation every year is to win. All right? I feel like this year, with the new faces, with players trying to acclimate to their positions, it wasn't as structured as maybe you've seen in the past, right? I think that Don recruits a specific type of player. And when you play against teams like UConn, who's very structured, right? And I won't even say very structured. Like, everybody knows their role. It's important for everybody to know their role and be okay with their role. Like, you can see an AZ Fudd, dropping 20-something points, right? Which we expect that from her anyways, because she's a top kid as well, prior to her injuries. But then you see Paige Beckers drop 17, 20, 30 points. But then you see Sarah Strong drop 20 and 17, right? You have 3 players each night that can do that. That's the same thing that we expect to see at South Carolina, but the play is not the same. right? The players aren't the same, right? And that's the difference between your street ballers and your pros. And Don was trying to, and you can see Don was trying to work with her and turn her into that type of player. So, I do want to get into some things that I've seen throughout the championship game. And I'm only going to talk about the championship game, right? Talk to other people who were at different games, and they'll talk about, the body language and all that stuff. I wasn't at the game, so I can't talk about those things. All I could talk about is what I see. So a few weeks ago when I asked, I said, damn, I wonder if she's going to enter the portal. All right, me and my friend was going back and forth about this. Another basketball player, actually a player that was recruited by Don years ago. And to me, I seen it. Just because I don't know, like today, I think a lot of players are, what's the word I'm looking for? They have an ego, right? So if things are not going their way, they want out, period, right? And that's how I felt. Like, I don't know what her ego's like. I don't know if she's able to swallow the pill and, stick it out. But also, like, as a player, you have to think about your mental, right? Have you lost focus here? Do you feel like the coach is taking from your confidence, right? And on the outside looking in or the inside looking out, it doesn't even matter, right? If you're there, the coach may not see it like that. Nobody else may see it like that. Everybody may see it as the coach is trying to build you into this particular type of player. But as a player, you only can feel what you can feel. Like when people say, nobody can tell you how you can feel about a situation, about some trauma in your life, nobody can tell you how you can feel. So same thing with this situation. Nobody can really tell her how she feels. So if it's a confidence, like I feel like I'm losing myself here, then absolutely you should leave. Right? I think that she would progress at a system where she is the primary player. Right? A system that doesn't have high expectations, because expectations are high for her. For her herself. Forget the program. Every time you watch her play, the announcers are only talking about her. Right? So everybody wants you to win. Nobody wants to see you lose. Everybody wants you to win, but you're only rising to the occasion occasionally. Right? When we want to see consistency. So I think that's another thing. So when I come in here talking about the players and stuff, I don't want players like, if they ever see like, man, it's not that. I've played, I've coached, and I observe. I train. So I'm being observant as a coach, former player, and trainer. And there's things that I see that Milaysia needs to adjust to. She needs to adjust to the game. But going to a school like Kiyomi, she was able to do whatever the hell she wanted to do at Rutgers. But to me, because she was able to do whatever she wanted to do, now you got people who don't want to play with you. Because it's not about you. It's about the team. Right? If y'all want to play individual sports, you probably should go play tennis. Right? Or like a Juju Watkins. One thing about Juju, she is a professional now. Right? There's some things that she can work on, but there's things that she could do at an elite level that you cannot, like she was able to go in and change the program. Like when you say ball dominance, right? Ball dominance, but consistent every night. Not a street. She doesn't play like a street basketball player. She plays like a professional basketball player. Her movement, her footwork, her ability to score with the pressure, her ability to separate, those things are consistent. Right? You could tell that they're consistent. She's not out there just like trying to figure it out. Some players are like they're just trying to figure it out. And they have a good feel for the game, but they don't have a good knowledge for the game. So, what I want to do is now break down a couple clips from the championship game of Milaysia Fulwiley where I see there's the conflict. Where I hope as a player she's able, because it doesn't matter where you go. As a player, if you don't understand why you're not progressing, you won't progress. It don't matter where you're at, right? So let's talk about it. We're going to go into the championship game, and I'll put the clips up. And the first one is going to be as soon as she gets in the game. It's like 3 minutes into 3 minutes left of the first quarter. And she gets the ball. She comes down, and AZ Fudd picks her pocket right away, which led to what? A bucket on the other end. The next play down, they didn't even give her the ball. The next play after that, they give her the ball on the wing. She dribbles it to the top. She starts going one-on-one on Chin, I think that is. She starts going one-on-one, dancing. That's a lot of things. That's what I'm saying. The street ball, all of the dancing and all of that. All right? Dancing back and forth. She goes up. I don't even know she goes up to score. She might be going up to score to see if she has something. Sarah contests the shot, so she dumps it off to Joyce Edwards, who fumbles the ball because it's a bad pass. You literally threw the ball in this much of a space. Right? You literally go up and then you just dump the ball to me. All right, what am I supposed to do with that besides turn the ball over? But that goes back down to the street ball, the dancing at the top of the key, doing nothing, and then everybody else is low key kind of just standing around too. There's no action out of that, right? And then she comes down on defense. So then we got to talk about offensive defense. I hear a lot of people talking about her defense, right? Even during the broadcast, they're talking about, Dawn's upset with her ability to defend and all this and that. But one thing that you will see is Dawn does give her chances. The way that she plays, if she doesn't have the name that she has, she doesn't see the floor. And let's be realistic. If she does not have the name that she has, she does not see the floor. If you go into games and you make all of these mistakes, you might not see the floor until, you can prove in practice that you can make decisions. But Dawn still allows her to play. And that might be because she has the name and she wants to see her progress, because we all do. Let's be real. We all, ain't not one person sitting here not wanting to see this kid progress and be the name that we've heard, we've seen in high school, all right? Or we've seen in particular games during the NCAA. But it's inconsistent. All right. So down to the next play. Comes down. So there's like no squeeze on the defense. And one thing about me is I know a lot of people talk about the defense, but I don't know exactly what the assignment is as far as what the coach is telling you to do. Some coaches want to squeeze here. Some coaches want to rotate like this. So I don't try to do too much on the defense, but I do know one thing is if the ball is all the way on the weak side, Sarah Strong is turned, her back is to you. You can see her back, right? She's passing it to the wing. You should be in help. You should be moving to help. All right? So AZ comes off of the handoff. Now we're going page action. There's no squeeze at all. And again, I believe this is Chin again on the side. And she can shoot, but there's no bluff and recovery, stun and recover, whatever y'all call it. Where y'all at? There's no help side defense at all. I refuse to believe that. Because I see Chloe Kitts, working her way to help. And she's guarding Ice Brady. And Ice is really not out there right now to, score. So, but Paige is. So there's no squeeze on that. You're just going to let Paige just go rise up and get an open look? Or a one-on-one look. I don't say open. It wasn't open. Again, defensively. Now on this play is even more ridiculous. Because Milaysia's coming down on defense and she doesn't have anybody. Right? And we know transition defense first person on the ball, one person on the ball, one person back in the hole, right? So let's say she's the person back in the hole. There's still no scramble after that. All right? Say she's the first person down. Everybody's picking up. Sarah Strong would be her man if she's scrambling out of this, right? But no. Now we see Pow Pow guarding on the drive. Then Pow Pow's recovering on Sarah Strong. So Pow Pow on that one play is guarding Sarah Strong or AZ on the drive. Then has to recover to Sarah Strong. And I'm looking to see who Milaysia has. She has nobody. All right, next play down. Another defensive. Now, so I know that they help. I know that they squeeze because now I see a squeeze. Now you're at the block. But you're not paying attention to man and ball or ball. You don't see the ball because you're looking at the back action, the back screen action for Sarah Strong. But your man is KK Arnold in a deep corner. And you miss the drive by Paige Beckers or the back door by Paige Beckers, which should have been your steal, right? It shouldn't have been a jump ball. It shouldn't have been Chloe Kitts or whoever's diving on the floor. You should have had the steal. Or you diving on the floor. You should have had the steal right away. Right? KK Arnold has not been even shooting like that. She didn't start shooting until the fourth quarter. And I mean like games. It's been games since we've seen KK Arnold trying to score. So that's you. That's your steal. It's just lazy. It's just lazy defense. I'm going to be honest, it's just lazy. That's just lazy. And that's what a coach is going to say. That's just lazy. When y'all watching the film, a coach is going to say, that's just lazy. You're not even trying. You're not even giving any effort. It's one thing when you give an effort. Like, I know players who don't know where they're supposed to be on the floor, but at least they moving around somewhere. They look like they trying to do something. You just happen to be getting rebounds and deflections just because you're in the vicinity. Not because you're giving effort. Then we come down, second quarter still. Come down. The picks aren't really good picks. She comes back up, picked again. AZ Fudd. It's like AZ is seeing, this is what I'm talking about, squeezing the floor, right? AZ is on Pow Pow, who can shoot. But bluff and recover. Stunt and recover, whatever you call it, where you're at. Gets the pick. Another bucket at the other end. So your turnovers are turning into buckets at the other end. That's 3 turnovers. AZ, and then you threw a bad pass. That's 3 turnovers. You haven't even been in for that long. To be honest with you. You came in the first quarter, the end of the first quarter, the end of the second quarter. But the mistakes that you're making are your mistakes. They're not anybody else's mistakes. It's not the coach's fault. It's not the team's fault. The mistakes that you're making are you're trying to create when there's nothing there. Then we have, which one is this? Oh, this is when they were talking about Dawn is telling her she has to play. Like, Dawn is still trying to, it sounds like the assistant coach was, and I don't even like to get all into the details. It sounds like as I'm watching the broadcast, they're saying that the person who coaches her the most is the assistant coach, right? Out of timeouts, when she comes out the game, her and the assistant coach have a relationship beyond South Carolina. They know each other, and she's trying to mentor her. But it's like, as a head coach, I don't have time to babysit you. Like, I know Don calls it the daycare, but I don't have time to babysit you. Like, I need you to play. And when I need you to play, I need you to play. It can't, like, we're in the championship game. I don't have time to, coddle you, right? You got to play. And then at the end of the half, she comes down. Oh, this is not even the end of the half. Oh, it's not even the end of the half. This is another play. She comes off. She comes off the screen. She goes one-on-one again. Like, everything is rushed. It's not like I get the ball, I open up, I pivot, I see what I got. Before I try to take off to the basket, I like work my way into, like, I pace game, I pace out. It's not that. It's like I get the ball and I go, 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 go. And then I try to make something happen. They cut me off. Really, I got a shot right there. I got a shot right there. Because you pushed AZ all the way down here. Really, I got a shot right here. But instead, I cross it over. I have my big sitting here on the high post who I could pass it to, and she could have hit a little jumper maybe. Because I have Sarah Strong pinching because Chloe Kitts is being guarded by Paige Beckers. So I have that. Those are things that you should be looking at, right? Who's on who? Okay, Paige is on Kitts. Okay, maybe I can get it there. But then I see Sarah Strong pinching, right? Squeezing that. So I may not want to get it there because I don't want Sarah to come on the backside and put Kitts in, in a bad predicament. But whoever Sarah's guarding, I could throw it to her. I don't know if that's Fagan. I'm not really sure who that is. I could throw it to the high post, but instead, I'm going to try to split the defender here, damn near fumble the ball, and then kick it to Tessa, who hits it. So we get lucky there. That's what we call, thank God that worked out. Then to end the quarter, we go down. We got 40 seconds on the clock, right? Do we want to get a good shot? Down 8. Do we want to get a good shot? Because I ain't really been playing phenomenally. Or do I just want to launch something up? Right? Let's say you was going for the 2-for-1 special. I don't even think you want to go for the 2-for-1 special. Alright? 40 seconds on the clock. That gives you 10 seconds. Y'all not even playing good enough to come down and get another bucket in 10 seconds. Alright? So you go throw up an air ball. Thank God your teammate gets the rebound. But then she misses that, but they call a foul, right? But this is what we're talking about. And there's multiple games with, like when it looks like that. Like you're being sped up, and you're quick, but you're playing faster than you need to. We need some fundamentals. We need to be sound when we play. We need to be better when we play. So, I just wanted to come here and say, I understand her going into the portal because maybe it's a confidence thing, like I said. Maybe she'll do better somewhere else. And it's like, now, you got to think, now do the coach trust me? Do my teammates trust me? Because there was times in the game where I seen the teammates was like, I ain't passing. I'm not passing it to you. What are you doing? And you have to, as a basketball player, you know these things. When it's like, damn, what's she doing? I'm not giving it up. Nope. Right? And then the fourth quarter, you come and you score, right? You end up with 9 points on the game. But those are like garbage minutes. We're losing by 30 points, 20, 30 points. So you have nothing to lose there. What are you doing when there's something to lose? All right? And you showed it in, the Elite 8, Sweet 16? But it's not consistent. And I think, like I said, she needs to go somewhere where she might be the primary focus, like Rutgers, how Kiyomi was the primary focus. She could do whatever she wants, but then, again, now your teammates don't like you. Now it becomes a situation. And then you guys think that it's haters. No, we're on a team. How am I a hater and we're on a team? And you're not playing like we're on a team. You're playing like you're the only person on the team. Players, and that's why I don't blame players for entering the portal. All right? It might be players that I really enjoy watching. There's players that I really enjoy watching, but I know that their teammates don't want to play with them. It is what it is. All right? And they either care or don't care. I don't know if these players care. Some people don't care. They're like, I'm the one. You're the none. So you fall in line. Get in where you fit in. And if that's their prerogative, that's their prerogative. That don't got nothing to do with me. All right? Know your game plan. Have a game plan. Know what you want. Know what you want to accomplish. Know your deficiencies. Understand where you lacking. So you can start stacking where you lacking. Because some of y'all don't. Some of y'all expect to come in, play how you've been playing, and it's not working. Work on your game. Like they say, bring your game, not your name. Nobody cares about that. UConn don't even have names on the back of their jerseys. Why? And maybe not all jerseys. Maybe they got home jerseys. I don't know. But it's probably because Gino said, we're not worried about, we're here to win championships. We bring dubs over here. Everybody gonna know your name. You don't need it on the back of your jersey. I'll get you the back of your jersey, name back on your jersey during senior night, if you make it that far. But anyways, that's all I'm here to say. I'm here to facilitate. Ooh, hold on, I can't even do it, love. We're here to facilitate the culture. Ooh, damn. We're here to facilitate the culture. All right, peace.